Breaking news, guys. Jeff Passan and ESPN have reported that the Japanese third baseman Kazuma Okamoto and the Blue Jays have signed on with a deal. Now, we're still waiting on contract details, but a little bit out of nowhere, I think a lot of people, including myself, were kind of expecting this to be a deal that was made from the Pirates. Especially after we just saw the deal with the White Sox, I don't think it was out of nowhere to see these kind of lower payroll teams making this type of signing, but he ends up inking a deal with the Blue Jays, and I'm not mad about it. Blue Jays have been hunting for a Japanese star for quite a while now, so it's kind of nice to finally see them land one, especially after the whole Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. What does this mean for the Blue Jays? I think, one, the Blue Jays are spending after getting a taste of that World Series. I think it's great to see them really try to capitalize on that momentum. According to ESPN, entering 2025, Okamoto has hit more than 27 home runs per season, which is a huge power bat for that Blue Jays lineup to go alongside Vladdy. Now, even though he's obviously signing as a third baseman, it's looking like in the future of this contract he will transition more to a first base or DH type role. But for the Blue Jays, this allows him to get him for at least probably what I'm assuming is at least 3 years. We don't really know what to expect from these contracts right now. I would assume it could be one that's, filled with some sort of opt-outs, kind of similar to Murakami. In the NPB, he is a 6-time All-Star, so it's nice to have some legitimacy join this Blue Jays lineup. Now, I think the big question that a lot of people like myself are wondering when it comes to the Blue Jays is, what does this mean for Bo Bichette? Obviously, this infield is getting pretty filled up now via Fangraphs. They're kind of projecting him to be the third baseman, putting Jimenez at short and Ernie at second, along with Vladdy obviously staying at first. That pushes Addison Barger back into right field. This infield is getting a little filled up. I don't know what they can do about Ernie and Jimenez if they were to go out and try to get a Bo Bichette still. For how long it's taken for Bo to ink a contract, I'm getting worried that the Blue Jays really aren't going to be in a place for him to stay anymore. Now, do I think Bo Bichette is necessarily someone who's worth the contract that he's hunting for at the moment? Maybe not. Nothing against Bo, but I think with a lot of these teams right now, their infields are pretty set, and that shortstop market isn't huge, and I think a lot of people don't know or don't really perceive Bo Bichette as a long-term shortstop option. Predictions on the contract length for Okamoto really can range. I really do think that this is probably going to be pretty similar to Murakami, maybe with an additional year, labeled with opt-outs in between, and maybe a 3-year deal. Is there a chance that they got him on a decent AAV to upwards of 5? It's possible with how much the Blue Jays are kind of spending right now, but I just don't see it. I don't see it being any sort of long-term contract. I don't see them committing to anyone. If they weren't going to commit to Murakami, I don't think that Okamoto is a safer commitment by any means necessary. Now, obviously, I'm rocking the Pirates hat right now. I really thought Okamoto was going to be a Pittsburgh Pirate. I think there was a lot of sources that were connecting him to the Pirates and the Angels right now, and I thought that made the most amount of sense, especially with, one, the Angels buying out the rest of Rendon's contract, and two, the Pirates are making moves right now, and I think they know before the CBA agreement ends, they have to make some sort of play towards contending. For the Pirates, I don't know what their next move is after this. I really thought that they were getting hot after the Brandon Lau trade, after signing Ryan O'Hearn. I really saw this being like the final piece to make the Pirates pretty close to a contender. Do I think they can contend with the lineup that they have? Not necessarily. I think that they're a lot closer, and I'm really bummed out because I think Okamoto was that final piece to get them into that contender level. The Pirates obviously have the rotation to make it happen. They just need the bats. Now, while we're here talking about Okamoto, I think it's important that we catch up on some previous moves as well, especially involving Tatsuya Imai, who just signed with the Houston Astros a couple days ago. I think this is huge for the Astros. I love the character mix between him and Houston, as a lot of us were predicting Imai was going to end up signing with either the Giants or the Padres after his comments, both directly and indirectly, targeting the Dodgers, and how he kind of was hoping to take down that type of monarchy that they have right now. Him signing with the Astros makes just as much sense. I think this adds to that kind of supervillain role that he's hoping to take, or maybe superhero, according to what perspective you're looking at it. Again, I bring this up with Okamoto because Imai also signed a 3-year contract with multiple opt-outs after 2026 and 2027. I think a lot of these Japanese talents, especially after seeing what both Shohei and Yamamoto have done, are looking for more of these prove-it deals to say that, hey, the NPB is not that far off from the MLB right now, and this talent translates a lot easier than a lot of people realize. Imai has that kind of, what can I say, I guess swagger to his pitch that I think is going to translate decently well, along with his attitude. I think that that's something that'll both attract the fan base for Houston, as well as Major League Baseball in general. Now, we don't know much about Okamoto's personality as much as we do about Tatsuya Imai's, but both are Japanese talents that I am super excited to see in Major League Baseball. What do we think that this means for the Blue Jays? What do we think this means for the Astros? Is this going to affect the Japanese market coming in? I think this kind of rounds out those pitchers and players just in general that we were hoping to see join the Major League Baseball this year. Both Murakami, Imai, and Okamoto, I am super excited to see their impact on the league. Do we think that this is a good contract for the Blue Jays? And do we think that this is a good contract for the Houston Astros? Let me know what you guys think below. If I missed anything or if the contract details come out, make sure to let me know. I think this will help us kind of develop that final opinion on this Okamoto contract for the Blue Jays. Overall, I think it's a success. I think this is a great signing for the Blue Jays. I think they are really pushing the chips in when they should be. I don't think that they can just write it out and see what this same team does, because obviously it wasn't enough to get it done last year. They were that close. They were 9 or 6 outs away from it. I think with the AL East making a lot of big moves with both the Orioles, still the Yankees and Red Sox are still going to be contenders. I think it's important that they fight. They should be at the top of the AL East food chain for the next 5 years. Hopefully Okamoto helps make that happen. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys think this contract means for the Blue Jays. Let me know what that Imai contract means for the Astros, and I will see you in the next video.